There it is. Okay. Just share into Discord. Go to share Discord. Don't know why, but I've got the expense stuck in my head. Why have I got the expense stuck in my head? There we go. Okay, and looking at the chat, there's nobody here yet. That's fine. So he pushed the button and I pushed the button. Okay, options. Sound. Voice volume, music volume. Yeah, this game has its own music. It's terrible. I don't know what they were going for, but it just doesn't sound great, and that is way too loud. So I'm just turning it off. Huh. So everything's quite low already. I already changed it a bit to make it quite low anyway. But it's just that, yeah. The video controls, brightness, self-shuttering. Very high? Is there like a super high? No. That's just the bestiest it can do. Game controls. Game difficulty captain. What is the Admiral, Ensign, Captain, Admiral, Ensign? I didn't know this existed. Yeah, camera sensitivity. I was hoping it would give me a button layout so that I can actually see what all the buttons do. Because I've been playing this game for ages. I know what most of the buttons do, but there's still some buttons that are new to me. You know? Anyway, actually playing the game. Let's kick some booty. Let's try to fight the ball with the most best I've got. How about that? I'm playing with the original series, and I'm playing with the I've been playing with the photos. So let's just continue that. I think I fucked up the sound. I can't hear any of the volume. I think I fucked up the sound. I should be hearing something, but yeah. Look at all the ships from the original series / movies. This is actually a weird misnomer. It's from the time period of the original series. But yeah, let's go through all of these just real quick. So here we have the Apollo class, and it's got a original series kind of nacelle. Its warp core must be in here, and that thing must be fucking powerful because it's only one nacelle. But what happens is that it's kind of like stacked inside. The warp coils are stacked inside this thing next to each other, so that they actually interact with each other. So yeah. Plus, it's a tiny ship. It doesn't really need to space that much if you really think about it. And yeah, I mean it's cute. It gets the job done most of the time. It's class 2 as a scout for some reason, but yeah. This is my favorite ships. It's because it's so unique and stuff, but I do believe that there's a problem. There's just one problem. I don't think that the secondary hull should be habitable, or basically there's some kind of like in these segments, in the arms segments, there's a thing that there's like some kind of corridor with a ladder. They do have turbolift shafts going through them, but it's debatable as to exactly how that works. But I'll believe it. I've got the schematics for this thing. It has a turbolift shaft that goes through one on either side. That goes through this very thin segment. So I mean that shows you how thick the turbolift shafts are. And then there's even a band here that kind of like they go into and kind of like right themselves before they move up and down this corridor. It kind of makes sense. I kind of like it. I like the weird intricacy of it, but I do wish that there was kind of like I wish that these were thicker. I wish that the pylons were actually thicker because yeah, I do like the fact that it can actually it looks so cool. It just looks so awesome somehow. Window size alone, some of these are supposed to be windows. So window size alone, this thing should be huge. These openings, these are doors for like, that's its shuttle bay. It's got a little dinky shuttle bay. It's so cute, and I like it. The Apollo refit class, they just added another nacelle on top. I think it actually adds to the effect. I like it. It's cool. I don't have any problems with this. I do think that basically the whole point of the source section and an engineering section is so that you've got the engineering shit away from the people, and that warp fields and stuff. If something goes wrong with them, then they could have like spikes in radiation, for example, or just purely they are hot. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize is that there's a reason why the warp cells glow, and that reason is that they're hot. It's not just a lit up thing. It's not just a force field. It's because they're hot. One of the reasons why they glow is because they're really hot. That is the whole point of them. In fact, these grids, this grill here, is just really warm. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why you can't have nacelles just embedded in ships all the time. Some ships actually have that, but they have the running hot parts on the outside of the saucer and or something. You know, they have there's lots of reasons. I got the Miranda Class, the regular Miranda Class from the original series. This was actually designed after they did the refit class. Where's the There's the refit class. Because this was designed for a movie, and it was literally designed. It was originally upside down, which in my opinion would have been fine. But then everybody was the studio was concerned that you wouldn't be able to tell if it was the that people get confused between the actual Enterprise that it was supposed to be fighting in that episode, and yeah, and this thing. And this has caused the debate of where exactly the deflector is. But the thing with this is that it's actually got multiple deflectors. They're just a lot smaller, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But on this, on the Miranda Class, not refit one, it actually has a little dish underneath it that you can't see in this rotation model because it's underneath. So it's right here, but through the ship, if you could see through the ship, and it's a little dish that comes out of the bottom and pokes out. Actually, this thing has one too. And you can kind of just make it out, just a little dot there before it rotated just now. But it also has one too. But yeah, it's got no phasers, but for some reason they come out of here, which I'm okay with. But I mean, they are phasers, I guess. But yeah, and I don't know why they've got a divot here above the shell bays, but they have a divot on the roof of them for some reason. So. It's a fair design. I can't fault it. It's okay. But yeah, they could have worked a little harder on it, you know. Now this thing, the Aquila class, this class is a destroyer. Now this thing is actually, I've got the technical specs on this ship, and this thing down here is not a weapon. But in this game, for some reason, they love to say that it's a weapon. So, okay, fair enough, fine. Actually, just a deflector. But you'll notice that all of the secondary hull is radically different, and that's because it's designed to take advantage of the time stream effect. And in Star Trek, there's a whole thing where if you have your nacelles, if the intermix in the nacelles themselves, not in the warp core, is imbalanced or cooled down or whatever, then you could accidentally throw yourself into the past or future. And or in some super cases, you can actually go to the mirror universe or mirror dimension or whatever. And yeah, you've got it's basically that's why the reason for the radically different nacelles, they're crazy different. They're like they just are. To take advantage of that effect and to travel through time. So it was the first time ship. However, when there's a game, there was a board game, a tabletop game called Starfleet Battles or something. I can't remember what it was called, but they adopted this concept. They adopted the concept art, made a little model of it, and they basically just said it was a super warship. So these things on the end here are supposed to be weapons, and they turned the deflector into a weapon as well. But it's basically, you know, it's so thin and spoony on the ends because they're trying to get the cells as far away from each other as possible. They're trying to get the deflector as far away from also as possible, because it's an experiment. It's an experimental ship. Lots of things can go wrong. Terrible things can happen, and they want to keep everybody away from everything as much as they can. So that's why it looks so spindly and out of the way. But no, this is an actual canon ship. So yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it, and the main thing I don't like about it is is that it's been co-opted so many times, and it's shuttle bay. These are cargo bay doors, but people keep arguing it's the shuttle bay and stuff. It actually has a shuttle bay. It's just really small. I just don't. Yeah, and that's the main thing. That's my main problem. It is too small. It's kind of too small to do anything, you know. But here it's classed as a destroyer, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the game using it. But yeah, there's an actual shuttle bay underneath the underneath here. I think those are doors as well, but yeah. You got the Miranda Class, and this is a lot of people's favorite ship for some reason, and I'm okay with that too. I don't mind it at all. Like I said, it caused a lot of contention when it first came out, because there was this whole thing in the shipbuilding community. There's this whole thing where it doesn't have a main deflector. You can't see the main deflector. The deflector is that big dish that's on the front of the secondary hull of the Enterprise. I think you can clearly see there. There. That's supposed to be the deflector. This one's got a satellite dish. This one doesn't have one either. But I think they argue that there's something on the facade collectors that basically protect it or something. I don't know how to get away with that. I don't know why there wasn't a contention with this one instead. Weird. Anyway, yeah, and yeah, you can actually see the deflectors. It's got multiple deflectors. They're smaller, and they're covered up. They are actually their front of them is covered up. But no, there's at least 3 that you can see from this angle, and I think there's one on the underside somewhere, but I'm not entirely sure. But I'm going to wait for it to spin around again. But I really like this ship for multiple reasons. Not only is it a way that basically they made Federation designs, but different, you know, that